Welcome to Explicably Inexplicables, the podcast where we unravel the mysteries of finance, technology, and business. I'm Arnav.
And I'm Nikhil, and in today's episode, we embark on an exciting journey into the world of cryptocurrencies and their revolutionary impact on finance as well as technology.
That's right. From the mysterious beginnings of Bitcoin to the widespread adoption of blockchain technology, we're going to cover it all. Cryptocurrencies emerged in 2009 with the creation of Bitcoin by Satoshi Nakamoto. And this digital currency challenged the traditional notion of money by introducing decentralization, transparency, and cryptographic security. So in terms of, having all of these coins at one point in cryptocurrency and making something diverse and stand out, what made Bitcoin attractive to investors? What made Bitcoin, want to get mined or invested in this cryptocurrency?
Mm-hmm. Well, Arnav, I think I'm very glad that you mentioned the decentralization and the transparency and the cryptographic security of Bitcoin. I think those are all things that have made Bitcoin stand out. But even on top of that, I think that Bitcoin was intriguing, especially to tech enthusiasts, but also attractive to investors who were seeking kind of an alternative to traditional financial systems. Like you said, right? It definitely challenged the traditional notion of money, right? It offered not necessarily a replacement, but kind of another method of payment. And so the idea of a peer-to-peer electronic cash system without the need for those intermediaries, such as a bank, right? If you want to deposit cash to a bank account, right? For a debit card, credit card, whatever it is, was kind of groundbreaking. And I think nowadays it's really fascinating to see how that concept has, evolved over time.
Exactly. Like I know, people start paying each other not in just money, like in dollars, but in cryptocurrency. Or like I've heard stories where people pay the pizza delivery guy in cryptocurrency and not in cash. And I just feel like the method of transferring money through cryptocurrency is crazy, right? And so we all know that cryptocurrencies have disrupted the financial industry in many ways, right? Like I said, they serve as a medium of exchange and a store for value. But I guess in light of things, it also has many potential benefits for things such as cross-border transaction and remittances. Mm-hmm. If you'd like to go more in depth of that, I guess just to say, how have these attributes affected the entire financial landscape, Nikhil?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm glad you brought up that example with the pizza as well. I think that kind of goes to show that you can have a transaction with cryptocurrency. And so that can go beyond borders, right? And so essentially what I'm trying to say is that cryptocurrency has empowered the unbanked population in developing countries. And so it's kind of provided them access to financial services that were previously out of reach. So, for example, I actually have some family in India that knows some people in Dubai. And the people in Dubai were able to send them money through cryptocurrency, not regular money or not through their debit or credit card, but through cryptocurrency. And that, I think, just kind of goes to show how remarkable technology is when it comes to bridging these gaps.
Exactly. And I feel like it cuts down transaction fees, and it makes them get more money, the more bang out of the buck, basically.
Yeah.
I guess talking about this industry, we shouldn't forget about ICOs, or like initial coin offerings, which have become a new fundraising avenue for startups and businesses. So I guess overall, how have these ICOs impacted the funding landscape?
Definitely. I think ICOs have kind of opened up very exciting opportunities, right? And I think to better understand its impact, we also need to kind of understand the underlying technology that makes it actually function and make it possible.
And what is that underlying technology? Well, I guess it's blockchain, right?
Right.
So just to go into blockchain for a little bit, for our audience, blockchain serves as the foundational structure for cryptocurrencies, underpinning their decentralized and secure nature. So at its core, blockchain is a distributed and immutable ledger that records all transactions made within a cryptocurrency network. And each block in the chain contains a cryptographic hash of the previous block, creating an unbreakable link between them. And this chaining of blocks combined with a consensus mechanism such as proof of work or proof of stake ensures that the data stored in the blockchain remains tamper resistant and transparent, right? Something that's essential in the cryptocurrency landscape. And the decentralized nature of blockchain means that no single entity has control over the network, making it resistant to censorship and single points of failure, right? Which is essential for creating a consistent and reliable network. And this trustless and transparent system has revolutionized the world of finance, empowering individuals like me and you to transact peer-to-peer without the need for intermediaries, and fostering a new era of digital assets and financial innovation, taking out costs like transaction fees and just making it more accessible and easy, which is something we need in 2023.
Right.
Like for lazy people like us.
Definitely.
So it ensures secure and tamper-resistant record keeping, but what, I guess, essentially makes blockchain so robust and secure, Nikhil?
Well, I think the first item is really that decentralized nature that you were talking about. But I think, even beyond that, I think the fact that instead of relying on a single central authority like traditional databases, I think blockchain operates on kind of a network of nodes, right, that work together to validate and record transactions. So essentially, each block in this chain contains a cryptographic hash of the previous block, which makes a tamper resistant link between them. So that chain of blocks combined with a consensus mechanism like proof of work or proof of stake ensures that altering any information in the blockchain would require an immense amount of computational power, making it basically impossible to manipulate past records without the consensus of the majority.
I think that's just fascinating, right? And as you mentioned, blockchains have diverse applications beyond cryptocurrencies itself, right? And I feel like it'll last longer in the future. And why is this? I think it finds use in supply chain management, digital identity verification, and smart contracts. And because it's like the fundamental like overlay of cryptocurrency, you can have blockchain without cryptocurrency, but you can't have cryptocurrency without blockchain, which is why it'll last for a long time. And I feel like that's the future. But I guess the question for you is, how do these applications contribute to, I guess, the transformative power of blockchain technology?
Well, okay, so I think what's interesting to me is that definitely a big misconception that I think a lot of people have is that blockchain technology is, just applicable to finance, but it's really not. It goes really far beyond that. So, for example, in supply chain management, blockchain actually enhances the transparency and the traceability. So essentially each step of that supply chain can be recorded on the blockchain, which allows customers to verify the origin and the authenticity of the products they buy, therefore making it more secure. And so this, reduces counterfeiting and builds trust between producers and consumers. And so, in the case of digital identity verification, blockchain kind of offers this decentralized and secure way to manage identities. So instead of relying on a single organization to hold sensitive personal data, individuals can control access to their information through cryptographic keys. And so this doesn't just improve the privacy, but also streamlines these processes, like user authentication and authorization, which I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with apps like Instagram that have two-factor authentication, etc.
Exactly. And I feel like in regards to stuff like smart contracts, they are self-executing agreements with terms directly written into the code. And so when these predefined conditions are met, the contract executes automatically without the need for intermediaries, which just makes everything so much easier, right? It reduces the costs, ensures trusts, and I guess just enables new business models for the future.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, the potential for this blockchain technology to revolutionize various industries is really exciting. But I think with that, we also kind of have to look at the negative, the flip side of that, which is the obstacles and the challenges that come with that.
Exactly. I guess we can talk about the good for however long. We also have to look at the bad. What are the risks associated with it? I guess the two main concerns that I believe in blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies: regulatory issues and market volatility, right? I believe we must strike a balance between fostering innovation and protecting investors. I guess just the question for you is, how can the regulatory landscape adapt to accommodate the evolving crypto space?
Definitely a great question, because regulatory clarity is just crucial for the healthy growth of the cryptocurrency industry. And so what I think is probably just the fact that the governments and regulatory bodies need to collaborate with the industry experts so that they can better understand the nuances of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. This is a very technical topic, right? So if you don't have the proper experience, you're probably not going to make the proper laws or the rules in place to govern it properly and ensure the security. And so I think by striking a balance between that fostering innovation and the protection of consumers and their privacy from scams, fraudulent schemes, regulators can kind of create a more conducive environment for responsible cryptocurrency use.
Exactly.
And so kind of some examples I can think of off the top of my head, or probably like some guidelines on issues like taxation, AML, which is known as anti-money laundering, if you weren't aware, compliance, and of course investor protection. I think these will all bring more legitimacy to this area.
Exactly. You made some great points there. And I guess we shouldn't overlook the environmental impact, which is also another negative side of cryptocurrency mining, right?
Right.
How can the industry address these sustainability challenges in the future, making them, a more environmentally conscious, industry in general?
Yeah, so Arnav, I actually find this topic very interesting because a lot of people are like, well, okay, this is an online thing, right? How can this affect the environment and the world we live in?
Yeah.
And so the reason for that is that energy consumption is often associated with cryptocurrency mining. So particularly in proof of work systems, this has kind of raised concerns about its environmental impact. So one solution is kind of to just transition to more energy efficient consensus mechanisms like proof of stake, which require significantly less electricity, which is kind of the main factor, the main thing as to what the negative impact is, which is using too much electricity. And so additionally, I think the use of renewable energy resources for mining operations can also help mitigate the carbon footprint that we are producing through cryptocurrency mining. And so I think encouraging mining farms to be located in regions with excess renewable energy capacity can make a significant difference in this industry.
Exactly. I believe education is also vital to promote responsible investment in the cryptocurrency space, right? And I guess in regards to what kind of steps we can take to achieve this in a rapidly changing field, I believe that education plays a critical role in helping investors understand the risks and opportunities associated with cryptocurrencies. Like if someone doesn't know what they're investing in, someone doesn't know what field they're going into, the probability of them succeeding is very low. And I guess there's also probability of them not knowing the challenges and risks associated with it, which could be detrimental to not only their personal financial portfolio, but also
the people around them as well.
People, environment, just everything. So these industry stakeholders, which includes exchanges, educational institutions, media outlets, for me to name a few, they can collaborate to provide accurate and unbiased information, right? And so offering resources to these people like educational courses, webinars, informative articles, they can empower investors to make informed decisions. People like you and me, and even businesses, right? And it's essential to stress the importance of conducting thorough research and being cautious of potential scams or misleading claims, something that's been very prominent in the recent past in the cryptocurrency landscape.
All right, so I think that's enough about the negatives for today. So on that note, I think that brings us to the end of this episode on the rise of cryptocurrencies, disrupting finance and tech. We've covered the historical significance, transformative potential, as well as the future implications of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology.
Thank you all for tuning in. Stay curious and stay informed. We'll be back soon with more captivating discussions on finance, technology, business, and current world topics on Explicably Inexplicables.
Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends and family.
Until next time, peace.